There are 6 things that I want to share with you in this video that have been the bedrock of my sales process for over a decade now. It's been responsible for over 122 million in reported client revenue, and it will help you to effectively sell your products and services online right now. This stuff is so powerful that some people use it for bad and not good. It's the exact reason there are people out there making a bunch of money selling crappy products. But I want to help you learn the right lessons to start selling your amazing products and far surpass anyone else in your market and what they're currently achieving. But first, if you're new here, my name's John, husband, father, and founder of AdClients.com and also adcon.co.uk, the largest and most exciting marketing conference here in the UK. And over the last 10 years, I've built multiple online service-based businesses that have generated over $35 million personally for myself, and without having to hustle 24/7, sacrifice my personal life, or stop doing the things that I love. And right here on the channel, I help other people do the same. Now, I want to get into these 6 things, but before we can, I've got to teach you something really critically important. And it's something about how we view the offers that we're putting out there into the marketplace. Because a big issue that I see is that people have an incredible product that you deliver and it's not selling. And you're wondering why it's not selling. And you're getting frustrated because you're thinking, how are people not seeing that this is epic and it's going to solve their problems and it's going to get them the result that they're after? What you are failing to realize is that it's not the product and the delivery itself that sells the offer. It's actually the positioning. It's the positioning and how you're putting it out there into the marketplace that's going to make the sale. It kind of happens from outward coming in. People are looking at you and your business, and they are looking at the positioning of your offer, and it's not until they then part with their money, purchase your thing, that you then have the chance to deliver them. They're not making a buying decision based on the delivery. This is the exact reason why you've had bad buying experiences in the past, where you've seen an ad for something or you've had a sales call with someone and it sounded great. So you parted with your cash and you purchased the program only to go in and find out that it's not what was promised and you are now a dissatisfied client. How was that possible? It's because you were sold on the idea, you were sold on the positioning of the thing, and then you got in and you were able to figure out if it actually lived up to the positioning or it didn't. And it's so important that we talk about this, because if you don't understand this very simple yet powerful concept, then you're forever going to be trying to make your delivery the best it can possibly be, and that's the only thing you're focused on, and then constantly getting frustrated at why no one's buying it. And it's because you're neglecting the really important skill of learning how to market the offer, how to position the offer, how to wrap it up in really sexy marketing messaging. I want you to think about it like this as well. There's a different way we could look at this. Let's say we've got company A and company B, and they both have their position, their delivery, and then they've both got their positioning around the outside. And this is when it gets quite concerning and quite worrying, actually. But once we know this, we can combat it and we can find solutions. But let's say that competitor A is terrible on delivery. I mean, when someone gives them money and comes in, it's only disappointment. They suck at delivering and they don't get any results in the program. However, they are masters of marketing, masters of positioning. So that is competitor A. Now we've got competitor B. Let's say that that's you, okay? You are incredible at what you do. You're incredible at your delivery. Your offer is insane. And if someone would just buy it, then they would get a great result and they would be a client for life. But guess what? You've neglected the marketing. You've neglected the positioning, or you're trying to learn it, but you are sucking at it and you're terrible at it. Who is winning the client in this scenario? It's option A, right? They're winning the client because they're buying based on the positioning. They're not buying based on the thing. And this is how, and this is why we have people out there in the marketplace that can grow big businesses, make loads of money, built upon a crappy product. So what is the answer? The answer is that we do both. Like, that's where you have a business and a company that can scale, is where you have an amazing product surrounded by amazing positioning. So the first thing is focusing everything you do in your marketing and your positioning on results, not the product. I need you to understand this. When you've got your potential prospect over here and they might be interested in buying your thing and your product is here in the middle and that's the thing that they're actually buying, and if they go through your product, then they're going to potentially get a result. And now we can celebrate that. We think that the thing they're buying is the product. That they've seen your marketing, they've seen your funnels, they've seen you on social media, and they're coming through and they're now making a buying decision. However good you're wrapping the product up in the positioning, you think they're buying the product. They're not. What they're actually buying is the result. This is what they want. In their head, what they're actually paying money for is to get the result. It's just that your product is the vehicle that they now believe can get them there. If you think about it, if your product is made up of training videos, some one-to-one Zoom calls, some resources and some workbooks and things to go through, if that's the thing that you get, then who wants to buy that? Like, who wants to buy a whole bunch of work to go through, like hours and hours of content to watch and Zoom calls to get on, which was time that they can never get back, and workbooks that's going to take ages to go through? No one wants to do that. So they're not paying for the stuff. If anything, it's a deterrent to have loads and loads of stuff. What they want is the result. You have now convinced them in the sales process that your product is the thing to get them to the result. It's so important that we look at things this way because it'll completely reshape the way you do your marketing. Because now in your marketing and in the sales of your business, you're talking less about the product, less about the stuff, less about the delivery, less about what's included, and more focusing on where they are right now, the problem that they have, the result that they want, and the fact that you can bridge that gap for them if they join your program. The second thing that you need to be aware of when you're putting your offers together and positioning them out there is keeping it simple. Less is more, and we're going to talk more about that a little bit later on in one of the later numbers. But this product here, I mean, you really just want to keep the description of the product, what's included, into a simple, you get this, then you get that, then you get that, and that is going to get you the result. We've got to keep it super simple. The more stuff you lay out on the table, if you were a client coming into my office right now and I said, right, here's what you get, and I got a whole bunch of workbooks and there were 20 of them and I was talking you through all these different workbooks and then different training videos, and if this table was piled up with stuff that you get, I'm probably going to lose you as a client because this seems overwhelming. What I should do is strip the table of all the nonsense, and I should just say, if you go through that and then you do this and then you do that, and you go through this stuff here, you're going to get the result. That's what we're looking to achieve. We need to make it simple because then it's one less thing for them to think about. The more stuff a prospect has to think through when making a buying decision, the more blockers you're putting in the way from them actually making that decision. So let's make the product and understanding the product, let's make that so simple that it's not even, don't even have to give it a second thought. Now they're just deciding if they can fund the investment, fund working with you, and let's focus on objection handling at that place. The third thing is when you're putting these offers together, having some kind of bonuses in the positioning. Because if we just put everything we've got into one description of the offer that we've got, it sounds less attractive than if we splinter off and find ways of positioning bonuses. So it might even be that within step 1, 2, 3, or within what this is, where they get trainings from you and coaching calls, whatever the case may be, that we can actually splinter off from that, bonus number 1, perhaps, and we can also splinter off bonus number 2. Now, they might be things that were already in here. For example, in the second item that they get when they join your program, they get a weekly Q&A call, and maybe each week is on a slightly different topic, okay? Well, now, instead of describing the fact that they get weekly calls, I'm going to say you get access to this weekly call that's going to cover this, 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 and this. And as a special bonus, we're going to put a second weekly call on where we're going to be covering this topic and doing this. So now you're getting 2 calls a week. Maybe later on in the description, I'm going to include the third call that they get positioned as another bonus. The idea here is that we're taking what could have just been bundled together, and it's massive, splintering off the way we're describing it. Now it sounds bigger, sounds more attractive, it sounds more exciting, and it sounds better value for money. So that's really important that we position bonuses in our offers. So number 4 is this. You need your potential clients to feel understood. The way that I've been teaching this to my clients for years now is this concept of displayed, understanding. When we're trying to get this prospect's attention, he or she, we need to display that we understand them, we get them, we understand the pain they're currently in, and we can help them overcome it. Because this person is struggling with something right now. And when they feel understood and like someone gets them and gets the situation they're currently in, their sales resistance comes down and they soften to that person who's got an offer for them. You know, I kind of liken it to, imagine you are going through a hard time and you call a coffee date with one of your closest friends and you go and meet them in a Starbucks or somewhere else and you just talk to them for an hour and you share your problems and share your frustrations and what's currently going on for you. That friend, as long as they displayed that they understand you, they get you, they may not have had the answers for you. They may not have had any wisdom or advice or anything like that, but they presented not just a listening ear, because that's only good in part, but they gave you a listening ear that you just know it was landing with them. They were understanding, they were sympathizing, but they got it. There's comfort in that. There's a nice feeling in someone getting you. So now let's bring that into the marketing and sales world. And we've got two advertisers. And advertiser number one is not displaying any understanding for the prospect, just purely talking about them and their business. And you've got advertiser B, that everything they're saying is talking about the prospect and how they must be feeling right now and how frustrating it must be to have X, Y, Z, and demonstrating that they not only understand, but they have the solution. The prospect is going to feel far more drawn to the person that's displaying understanding. And the way we do this is really simple. I mean, what you can do is you can basically just get an A4 piece of paper, draw a line down the middle and a line across the top, and you put pains at the top of one side and gains at the top of the other. And you make a big old list of all the potential pains that your prospect could be or is currently experiencing. And you make just as big a list of all the potential gains, all the things that they want, their desires, their hopes. And many of these is just overcoming the pain. When you have this big list, now anytime you're doing marketing, you're doing video ads, you're making content on social media, you're putting a webinar presentation together, you're doing a sales call. Whenever you need it, this becomes your ammunition. You're mentioning these things throughout that content or that conversation, and that is going to have them going, wow, this person gets me, they understand me, I'm in safe hands here. And again, that buying resistance comes down and they're far more likely to move forward with you. And if this is helping you, by the way, and you want to know how to have that marketing language come all the way through your entire business, I've got this incredible resource for you. It's called the Momentum Framework, and I go through every piece of what we're talking about right now. We're talking about offers at the moment, which is in step one, which is part of getting your house in order, i.e. getting the business ready to launch and get some great results. But then we've got marketing. How do we get the traffic turned on? How do we buy some traffic, build some traffic on social media, or borrow it from someone else who already has the audience you want? Then how do we build the conversion machine? How do we build the list? How do we structure our offers? How do we maximize revenue out the other end? And what we're talking about here, this language trickles all the way through this. And if you can get this momentum framework built in your business, your business is now built on a solid foundation that can get some great results. This is really cool, and it's my free gift to you. There's a link in the description box or somewhere around this video. Click on that, tell me where to send it, and it's my free gift to you. And I'm confident you'll find that really helpful. Now, let's move on to step number 5. This is having a journey for your clients. This prospect here, when they come to you with a problem that they need solving, they are currently in a certain place, and they can maybe, sometimes maybe not, see a future version of themselves. They just don't know how to get there. They're currently sat in pain over here. There's a problem, there's an issue, and they know what it would look like and feel like to have the result. They just don't currently have it. And sometimes they can't even picture this. They're so deep in the pain and the problem that they can't even see a way out. It's like they're drowning and they don't even know which way is up. So when we present an offer to people, with the context of all the stuff we've discussed so far, the fact that it's the positioning that's going to sell it, and it's not the product, it's the result that they want. We've got to keep it simple. Like all the things I've taught you so far, we now have to create a client journey. And we say, when we're talking to this person, you're currently here, and we describe that situation. Then we describe where they want to be and the result that they want. And then we talk about how we're going to get them there with the product that we've got. So rather than just saying, you're there and you want to be here, and I've got this massive product that I want to give you that's going to help you get there, that's going to sound really daunting. It's not going to sound very attractive. And ultimately, they're not going to want it. Instead, we're going to say, you're there, you want to be here. Here's the first thing that we need to do. And that's all part of my process, part of my program is the first thing we're going to work on together is this. Once we've done that and we've achieved that, we're going to move to the next thing. And once we've done that and we've had that particular call where we're going to work on this and do that, I'm going to give you some homework, you're going to implement it, then I'm going to check it over. Once that bit's done, then we're going to move to this next bit here, and so on and so forth. And eventually we are going to work together doing all of these different steps so that you can, I'm going to put a crown on his head, so that you can have the result that you are after. So now the client is going, okay, that's simple, it makes sense, it's focused on the result, I can follow that journey, do you know what, I'm in, let's do it. And number 6 is your pricing strategy. And we want high ticket prices. We want high ticket prices. If you are still messing around with taking your knowledge and putting it into a product that's $100, or you've launched a book and that's it, there's nothing else, there's no back end to the business, it's just simply a book, or you've done some other low ticket thing, then you're not only attracting a low quality person that's probably not going to implement that information anyway, you're also making your life really challenging, and you're going to make it difficult to be able to scale because you need thousands of low ticket customers to make any meaningful revenue. Whereas when we go high ticket, everything gets better. And I want to teach you something that, I've been teaching my clients for a long time now. It's this thing called the offer triangle. And there are 3 things that your offer needs to satisfy to have a business that can scale and can give you all the things that you're after. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up, and I'll explain in just a minute. The first is client results, okay? You need to make sure that you're launching a program and structuring it in a way where your clients can and will win, and that needs to be first prize, that you have a good reputation and that it's working for clients. Second thing over here though is lifestyle, okay? It's lifestyle. It's making sure that you have a business that allows you to take time off and you don't feel shackled to your phone, and you can take a holiday without clients breathing down your neck or there being loads of work to do and you can never switch off. So you've got to have lifestyle in the mix. And then finally, it's your ability to scale. It's scalability. You need to make sure that it's an offer that you're not going to hit a ceiling so quickly and that you can infinitely scale. Now, why am I sharing this? Because to have an offer that ticks these 3 things, it's a high ticket offer. Because if you have, let's say, your knowledge packaged up as most of our clients have maybe $10,000 offers or $10,000 services, but let's say you even start at $5,000, well, you need 10 clients a month and you're making $50,000 a month, $600,000 a year from 10 clients a month, right? Less admin, less stress, and you know what's also awesome? Is the more someone pays for something, the more they seem to pay attention, the more they're respectful, the more they actually do the work, right? Because they feel the pinch of the investment, and so they actually do the work, and therefore there's a greater chance of them getting the result and you having a massive impact on them. So it satisfies all 3 of these, and I want to give you a top tip here. If you want to do what I'm saying, but you feel nervous over the idea of putting your price right up into top tier high ticket territory, what you can think about doing is slashing your price in half to get used to that and build some momentum. Now, why not just do it for free? There's this common strategy where we say, okay, I want to be charging that eventually. Let me start by doing this for free, get some testimonials under my belt, then I can start charging. Well, that's, I don't think, a very good strategy, because when people don't pay anything, then you don't get commitment, and you don't even get the testimonials that you were after, because people are so flaky, and because they didn't pay for it, they don't value it, and then they don't do the work, and then you just feel like you're chasing them. It's like the worst of both. You've given your stuff away for free, and then you feel like you're having to chase those people to even get back to you. It's a nightmare. But what you can do instead is you can say, I think what I'm doing could be worth 5,000. I'm struggling with my confidence right now to quite go to that level, but I can see other people in my industry are doing that and are charging that. So it can be done. Tell you what I'm going to do then. I'm going to slash that and I'm going to make it 2,500. And suddenly what that does is it builds your confidence. And you go, because I'm working towards the 5, then charging 2,500, even I'm starting to think this is great value for money. I mean, someone would be a nut job not to take me up on this offer, because it's going to be so good. The journey I'm about to take them through and the result that they're going to get, they'd have to be crazy not to take me up on that. That's going to really help you when you're on the phone talking to interested prospects. They're going to feel your confidence and your conviction. And guess what? It only takes that first time where someone signs up and gives you some money where you go, oh shoot, people really are paying this. That's amazing. Let me put this up to 3,000. Let me put it up to 4. Let me put it up to 5. And then you go, gosh, I thought 5 was the end result, and I realized that's the beginning. Like I'm worth more here, and people are getting great results. You start to go to a 10K offer and maybe even higher than that. So hopefully this training has helped you. If it has, let's take it to the next level. Grab my momentum framework. This is going to be so helpful for you to know exactly how to build your marketing acquisition machine properly on the right foundation. It's my free gift to you. And if you want to go through a detailed breakdown of how to use this, then click the video that's probably popping up here, where I walk through exactly how to use this step by step. I think you'll find it really, really helpful. Other than that, thanks for watching the video today. Give me a like on this video. It'll really help the channel. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video.